Heidi ho, neighbors. Today we're talking Nova Rally. It's a great new NFT game. It's a racing NFT game on the Wax blockchain. It's the brainchild of Sammy Snake, who's a big figure in the Wax community. He's got a big community in Alien Worlds. He's begun this project. He's also involved in a couple other projects, which we'll talk about with him in a subsequent video, part 2, where he talks about Olive Land and soccer NFT that he's involved with, or as the Brits and the Europeans like to call it, football. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, guys, here we are with Sammy Snake and ZenB Maxi Max once again, bringing you the hottest NFT stuff out there. We've got Sammy Snake today talking about Nova Rally, maybe a little Olive Land, whatever he wants to talk about. We're super excited about these projects. Zen has been on my case to try to get Sam on the channel. He's ecstatic about these projects, and as I started looking into them, I'm like, they're really awesome. I'm excited to hear about it. So, Max, I'll let you go ahead and take it.
Hey, so super excited to have Sammy Snake on. Sammy has been a big face in the Wax environment ever since I came on, first with Alien Worlds, and now he's got his own pretty cool projects going on. So, Sammy, do you mind telling us a little about what got you into Wax and maybe some of the big projects you have going on in the space right now?
I mean, lockdown, I think people were looking for different hobbies anyway. I've always been a big fan of crypto, but I think the lockdown really, made everyone seek out new hobbies, especially stuff that you can do inside. So that's kind of like where I got to into the NFT space. I was desperately looking for something else to spend my time doing. And then I found out about, you read the articles about the NFT space blowing up, and then at first I thought it was stupid, like a lot of people. Like I remember even before things were like blowing up, there was an article about it. I read it was on Twitter, and I said it was about NBA Top Shot. And I read it and I said to my brother, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. These people are paying thousands of dollars for a video clip of an NBA player they could get on YouTube. And it took me a while to sort of get it, and then now I really have a lot of fun with it. But it's incredible to see going from being so skeptical of it to being an absolute diehard NFT person. It's quite a turnaround, but I'm really enjoying. It's my number one hobby for sure now.
So Sammy, do you mind telling us a little bit about some of the projects that you have going on? It's pretty big in the space. A lot of people are excited about it, but just, high level, some of the things you're involved with.
So I have my own community, the Sammy Snake community, which was born out of Alien Worlds, where we kind of tackle a lot of expensive blockchain games together as a community. So maybe one person can't afford to play on their own, and we combine our forces to create one big community. So I do that for Alien Worlds, Colonized Mars, Metal War, Alien Ships, the Uplift. So we combine our forces a lot, which is pretty cool. And then also, most people will probably know me from the game Nova Rally, which is a racing simulation on the Wax blockchain, releasing very soon. Which I'm very excited for. That's my baby, and that's been in the works for quite a long time. A lot of my effort and my team's effort, which I'm really excited about. And then there's Olive Land, which I am an advisor for, and I help on the blockchain side and the gamification side of things, because I think it's kind of a game changer. The being able to fund, creation of an olive farm using NFTs. And people it's a whole new world. So it's the idea that intrigued me so much that I had to get involved there. Alongside that, I'm also an advisor for Coliseum Cards, which is a fantasy soccer game on Wax. So I mainly get involved with projects that I really, really enjoy and see potential in. I'm not too interested in money. I'm more too interested in what can we do that's not been done before on Wax. I'm very bullish on Wax.
Awesome. I love Wax as well. I've totally dove into it, learning as much as I can, trying to become a dev, based on, to some degree myself. And I want to be the first person to ever coin a phrase. May have already been coined, but I'm going to try it anyway because of Olive Land in this project. I'm going to coin the phrase an NFT OT. we've got things called IoTs, which is the Internet of Things, where we plug in real devices to the internet into real stuff, into gardens, under your shades, so you can turn your shades up and down, no matter where you're at in the world. That's Internet of Things. Well, now Sam or this project and Sammy being an advisor here, this feels like we're bringing NFT to the actual world. So non-fungible tokens of things.
It's a good way of explaining it.
Yeah, but it's so cool. It's like you're bringing the blockchain into the real world.
I know. Next step, no matter what, you don't need a mortgage anymore. Just sell some NFTs. Like, hey guys, you want to buy my house for me? Need to buy a house.
Yeah, you just you pull a mythic of something, sell it, and then buy a farm on an island outside of Turkey. Yeah, so maybe we could talk a little bit about like high level, like what Nova Rally is all about.
Sure. So at its core, it is a racing simulation that doesn't take itself too seriously. Nova Rally, all you need to do is pick your favorite type of car, pick 2 characters, which are your rally drivers, because you've got 2 characters in a rally, and you enter them into a race, usually of 8 people, and the winner gets on the podium. They win a prize. In this case, it's character shards or car shards that they can use to make more characters. So the way that you enter the races is you need fuel. How do you get fuel? You own the NFTs of the collection. So you want to race more, you need to win. So you start off with your initial team. You get the people that you like. As you win, you get these bonuses, you get more characters, you get more cars, it builds up your collection, you can race more. And we have our progression system is that everyone starts, no matter what the rarity is, everyone starts at the very bottom in Rookie League. And the idea is over the course of each season, you want to try and get to what's known as Master League. So there's heavy progression incentives. You get more rewards as you move up the ranks. But also, it's kind of for glory, you just want to show off sometimes and say, hey, I'm not in the Rookie League anymore. I'm no longer a rookie. I'm a vet of this. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, so that anyone can be clear in their heads that all they need to do is pick a car, pick 2 characters, but then surround it with enough depth to keep people coming back after 2 weeks. I always feel like 2 weeks is the key period, like anything new on Wax could capture people's attention for 2 weeks. Can you do it for 6 months? Can you do it for a year? Then that's the challenge.
I know a couple projects recently, and I'm not going to name them, but they seemed really awesome and they were fun to play for a few days. But after a few days, you're like, well, there isn't a lot of depth here. Kind of a repetitive deal. Let me ask you a couple quick questions about this. So the graphics look amazing. The drivers look cool. The cars look cool. Is there like a starter car that everyone gets, and then as you shard together new cars, is that how that works, or how's that mechanic going to work?
So you needed to have bought the packs, which contained a lot of the cars and the characters. So the cars are actually pretty scarce. They're quite valuable. They're not quite as valuable as a real car, but they're getting there. But right now, a common car in the market will probably cost you around $13 just because of how popular the game has gotten. Sure. But yeah, so at the moment to get started, you will need to buy a car, buy 2 characters. So you're looking at you could get started in racing for around $20, which is pretty decent. Now I would expect when racing comes out, maybe there'll be a big popularity surge, but we're already thinking about a rental system. So cool. We definitely see the future of this game to go to as many people as possible to play, because that's what keeps the game alive. It can't just be the same 1,000 of us or 500 of us playing every day, because then the game dies out. So it needs to be accessible to new players, but we don't want to kill the value of everything, because people obviously buy into this stuff.
Yeah.
And the things have value.
I'm going to reward your most dedicated player.
Exactly.
Without alienating the new guys. Yeah, that big.
And it's such a difficult balance.
Imagine.
And that's something that I've learned, is that I always like to give my honest opinion on projects that I'm playing. And then I was thinking to myself that, there's so much wrong with this that I'm going to do things differently in my game. And then you realize that balancing the seesaw. I mean, it's not even come out yet, but balancing that seesaw, oh, that's a challenge. You begin to realize how games cannot sustain for a long period of time, that play to earn reward. But if you can hit that sweet spot and keep it going for a long time, I believe then that the popularity of the game could skyrocket. So there's a big incentive to get it right.
So I know I read the white paper where you guys got a lot of calculations in the background, which is good because you don't want people to know how to game the system. Just a quick question. If I were to pick the same two drivers as somebody else with the same car, how does that work as far as who wins? And I don't, if you're not able to talk about that yet, that's fine.
As with anything, there needs to be some element of random chance involved. So even if you have the same car and the same characters, you're not going to get the same time. Okay. I mean, if that happened, it would be, it would get pretty boring pretty fast. Every single game, it needs to have an element of random chance. We'll need to decide as we monitor the game is that have we made the random element too large or have we made it too predictable? That's what the data is going to tell us. I like chaos. Yeah. I like the idea that anyone on any given day can win. But if it's just total chaos and no one has any idea what's going on, is that a good thing? I guess we'll find out. The first season is definitely going to inform me a lot about what I want to do with the future of the game, because we've got a lot of ideas for the more complicated stuff, but the first season is like the system I'm pretty happy with, and it should throw up some interesting results. Yeah, I can't wait to race in my own game. People are very excited and they always ask me when the racing is. I wanted to deliver this full experience, so that, because I feel like this has that lightning in a bottle sort of like one more race type of thing, where I think that it's going to be very popular and it's a very good idea, because there are other racing games and like serious racing simulation games on the blockchain, and they do pretty well, but they're very expensive to get into and they're not easy to understand. Whereas I'm coming at it with it's incredibly easy to understand and it's very accessible. The characters are kind of dumb and funny and stupid. I think it appeals to a lot of different audiences. So I feel like if we get it right on launch, then this could be big. And I'm going to say that I'm biased. I back my own ideas, but the way that I see it is that Alien Worlds is very successful because it's a very simple idea. People don't want to read for hours and hours and hours on how to do stuff. Like, they've got only a certain amount of time per day. So you need a simple, fun concept that has also depth for the people that want to spend hours and hours. And that's what it's all about.
So are we thinking September before there's something?
So what I want to do is I want to really test the network with as many people as possible racing very soon. So we're doing what we call a stress test. So it's going to be the racing stress test. We did it for our snaking contract, and we're going to do it for racing as well. So we're just going to get as many people as we can, get them racing, and see what happens technically. And that's going to give us an idea of whether what we've built is robust enough to go ahead and do the full launch, or whether we need to tweak it slightly.
So guys, that is Nova Rally. Nova Rally, I'll put the Discord in the description below. Check it out. They've started stress testing. Any questions you have, you can ask there. They have different seasons. They have different leagues, all the cars, all the drivers. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. And don't miss part 2 where I talk to him about Olive Land and Coliseum cards. 2 projects he's involved in that are also very, very interesting. You're going to want to hear about that. Keep an eye out. You might want to hit the bell, hit the subscribe, hit the like. Peace!